Hello again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Sky. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sky and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe so you can join the fun and paint along. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Alright, this week we are past the holidays. We're moving already into Valentine's Day season, I guess you could call it. We're going to do some fun Valentine's Day and love-centered concepts over the next couple weeks. I have a fun one for us today. We're going to do an abstract heart, which we don't often do abstract here on Paint Along with Sky. This is still figurative though, so I guess it's not fully abstract, but we're gonna get loose, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna do a really simple painting that's great for all ages. And I'm going to use my 4 standard brushes for today as per usual. These 4 come in a kit that has these 4 sizes that I like to use. Your brushes don't need to be the exact same as mine, but they should be the same general size and shape and made for a water media. I like to use a 3/4 inch wash brush and then 3 pointed brushes. I really like these 2 guys. I have a size 10 and a size 3, and those are really handy. And then for little tiny details, I also keep this little 3/0 brush on hand. The colors that I have to start today are the full colors for everything that we're going to use. So it's a full rainbow. We have gorgeous black and white, some cadmium red, cadmium orange, and cadmium yellow. I have a bit of this phthalo green, one of my favorites, some purple, aka violet, and a little bit of cobalt blue. To see a full materials list of everything that I use and recommend, check the description box below. You'll find the colors for today's tutorial, but also a link to the materials page on my website. And on that page, it'll break down everything that you need to paint along. While you're at it, you can also sign up for my email newsletter and get these tutorials sent right to your inbox. And as a thank you, I will send you an artist's glossary that has some key terms that I use in my classes and that will also just support you on your onward art journey. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on in. We're gonna start with a sort of unique step. Oftentimes we'll do a background, but we're gonna do sort of like some sketching first. Only we're not going to use a pencil. If you wanted to use a pencil, you could. You can mix your medias, no rules against that. But I'm going to stick with my paintbrush. I'm going to use the second to smallest brush, so this size 3. And I'm going to mix up a light gray. So just a little pinch of black into my white, just on the side of my palette paper. And I'm gonna go fairly light. You could go even lighter if you wanted. It would allow for a little bit more adjustment if you wanted to adjust things. But I wanna make sure that you guys can see the line. So I'm gonna go a little bit darker so that it shows up. I'm going to start in the center with a sort of tilted a little bit heart. And I'm going to deliberately make one side a little bit bigger, and I'm going to end in a cute little swirl. Very cute. And I'm going to have a little sort of funneled tip point just to add to the whimsy. And I'm going to do a few more hearts too, all over, however you'd like. And what we want to do is we want to start overlapping our shapes. We can do that with these heart shapes. I think maybe one more small one. Cute. And then we are also going to take some curvy lines and cut through our shapes with a sort of curvy pattern. I'm going to do that first one diagonal, so I went through my top heart and then I cut the side off here of the largest heart. And I'm going to do something kind of similar on that side and over here too, making sure that each of my shapes has at least what's going to be 2 colors. All right, and then I think maybe one more curvy line and perhaps a little cut off there on the side. There's a lot of colors. The more lines that you do, the more colors that you're going to need to mix up and fill in. So that's going to be our next step. So now that we have everything sort of like traced out, it's almost like we have a paint by numbers, and now we just gotta fill things in. Our own little custom paint by numbers. And you can go through the rainbow of colors in whatever order you would like. I'm going to start with pink, since that's sort of the Valentine's Day main color. And I'll bring this color into my center heart as a sort of focal point. And we don't need to be too neat and tidy with our filling in. Can kind of do some nice texture and start to just have a little bit more interest, which will add a highlight layer later too, but it's good to have a little bit of texture, and you could even kind of add some additional extra variation if you wanted, just subtle color differences. You can see I have a little bit of lighter pink, a little bit of darker pink. And I think I will also take this pink color. Let's do the side of this top guy. This is where you can totally just get creative and have fun and fill in whatever section, whatever little portion of your composition you like with the colors of your choice. Those gray lines are going to eventually be covered with black. So you can bring the colors sort of right to the line. I'm going to take some red now. So just a few sections with each color. I'm going to take my beautiful vibrant red right here, and really you could try to match my composition completely, but we're getting abstract today. We're getting loose with our rules. So it doesn't have to be exactly followed along. It's inspired by, it's going to be your creation. It's okay if you want to follow along and copy mine as close as you can too, but I encourage you guys to get creative. Speaking of getting creative, I love to see my students work. And since you guys can't post pictures here on YouTube, what I've done is I've made a Facebook group, and I made it a couple years ago. It's pretty big now. We're at almost 4,000 members strong. It's called the Art Club, and it's free to join. And you can post your art there for me to see and for the other students taking the classes to check out. Shout out to all my art club members. Thank you for joining me over there. And if you are not a member, I very much encourage you to join us. It's the best part of my day to see everyone enjoying these tutorials, all the places that they end up. Just a few sections with each color. I think I'm just gonna work my way down the rainbow, down the color wheel, around the color wheel. I have a course specifically on color theory if you'd like to learn more about the color wheel. It's really good foundational knowledge for anyone who never had that. It's how to mix colors, how to blend them, and all about the color wheel and how to do compositionally pleasing color combinations, complementary colors, that really basic art class stuff that you need that a lot of times people don't have or haven't had since grade school. So check that out if you'd like. That is available for my members, as well as some intermediate tutorials. I have some more ideas. I've got a lot of ideas. they're getting through, and more is coming soon. But also some other perks. It's just a few dollars a month there. Okay, working through my colors. I think a little bit of orange would be cute. I want to have some complementary colors too. I thought about doing all warm tones for this painting, but I love the rainbow. What can I say? Okay, let's actually do some balance. Bring some of our cool colors in. I'm adding a little bit of white to most of these colors, just to make things a little bit more opaque. Sometimes the pigments by themselves can be a little bit like streaky. I tend to use a lot of white in my paintings and in my color mixing process. But you can always do multiple layers too if you need to. Okay, I like that little orange acrylic here at the bottom. And blue is the opposite of orange. So these are complementary colors next to each other. Always adding a little bit of water to my paint. Let's do a lighter blue. And my white is getting quite colorful. Trying not to go over the gray lines too much. Don't want to blend my colors. We are filling it inside of the lines today, but we made our own lines. So we're still creative. Coloring inside the lines is an American idea of sort of like conformity, but artists are nonconformists, don't worry. Not putting you guys into boxes. I encourage always the creativity. I'm gonna do a gorgeous blue-green now with my phthalo green. I think I'll take this gorgeous aqua color down here. Sure if I'll keep the whole orange or if that's going to get covered up with black later, but I'll leave it for now. Okay, I think maybe even some more green. Or slightly different hue. Trying not to blend my pink into the green. Okay, looking good though. I think some true green would be nice, like a grassy green rather than the aqua. And some of these larger spaces we have left. Yeah, any colors. I thought about doing like only pinks and purples as a sort of, you know, Valentine's Day vibe. But I almost feel like it's too Valentine's Day-y. And I liked the rainbows again. bit of texture, a little bit of visual brush strokes. I'm going with it. I'm not going for the complete smooth. I could though. That's another, creative license that you can take. Should probably put some more clean white on here, but I can't stop painting. I really like the green. So let's do one more section. I think that balances nicely. Try to use complete sentences and not mumble for these classes, but painting is very mesmerizing and I get kind of zoned in. My day job is a copy editor, so I promise I know words good. I do. I just can't always articulate them properly on the spot. I need time to look at it. I appreciate everyone being patient with me. And I think that the classes still make sense because you can just watch the painting come together. And also remember that this is a digital format, unlike a live painting class. I know it can be kind of a trance for my students too, which is why it's so nice also to escape in the arts. But remember, you can pause me. You can fast forward me, you can replay it, and hopefully that makes up for me sometimes blocking the camera and mumbling nonsense. No, I haven't gotten, I think so, it's been 5 years since starting this channel. And I think I've only gotten like 2 negative comments. And I think I've had thousands of comments. So, but you know how those ones stand out more. But the majority of my students are literally the nicest people that I could have ever have hoped. I was scared starting a channel because the online world is so mean. And you're putting yourself out there. But I'm so pleased that you guys have found value in these courses and that you're so kind to me and the other students and usually yourselves. So a lot of times we are our own hardest critics, but it's such an amazing community that I have managed to find. So thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. Looking cute, and we're running out of space. Oh, and we need some yellow. And that is the perfect color to finish our last couple sections. Okay, just that little triangle. Little tiny part. So I'm gonna have to do one more other color in that small section. Nice. Really satisfying when it's all filled in. And things will still look a little messy, and you might be feeling kind of critical of yours at this point. I know I did when I did the first version. I always like to do a painting first so that I actually know what I'm doing when I'm leading you guys through things. But trust me, the magic happens in the black lines. Everything comes together. We'll add a little bit of highlights and it'll be so satisfying to see everything look nice and finished. I'm gonna take some purple into this section. I don't know what's going on with that line, but that looks better just like that. And I think I'll grab some purple for this little triangle as well. And then all of my sections should be filled in. Let's take a quick break. I'm going to transfer my black, since I didn't use it yet, onto a new fresh piece of palette paper and get myself some fresh white too, and transfer a couple of these other colors over because things got a little messy, but that's part of the fun of it. So let's do that. Take a little quick breather, let this layer dry. And if you need to, get a fresh piece of palette paper, and I'll see everyone in a couple minutes. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have a mostly dry background and pretty much the same colors on the palette paper. New fresh piece of palette paper just to keep things nice and tidy. I'm going to jump right back on into things. I'm going to add a little bit of color variation first in a few areas. I'm just going to come in here with my medium-sized brush and just add a few swipes of a lighter blue in a couple of my little blue areas. And this is pretty much an optional step. If you don't want to, if you have enough variation already in your colors, you may not even need to, but whatever you like. I'm going to do just a little bit of highlighting in many of these sections. Any of the first colors. Just the lighter version. We're really getting creative today. And we don't necessarily need it in every single section, but I think I need a little more. Just to add some interest, a little bit more abstract. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to grab my second to smallest brush again, and we're just going to work on our black lines now. And you don't have to be that thin with your brush strokes. It doesn't necessarily look better with a really skinny line. I like to sort of push down further in some places to make a deliberately thick line so that we can add some dots. So right now, all of that section was pretty much the same thickness of line, but like right here, I think I'd like to do a little bit thicker so that I can lay some dots on this later. And as suspected, it did cover some of my orange. I think it'll probably just cover the other side too. It's still really accentuating the curlicue. You do want this line to be smooth. So we don't want to see the canvas texture. And there could be some areas where you might have not brought it all the way over as much as you should have, like I just had right in that section. You can kind of just cheat a little bit thicker of a black line sometimes, or you could grab the color again from your palette paper, it's fine. And I want to have a thick black line and this curve. So we're accentuating this main part. And I can already tell things are looking so much better with the black. Really makes things look nice and tidy and has that effect that we're going for with the sort of abstract style. And your way around the canvas however is comfortable for you. And that's the whole step. So we're going to be patient and just work our way around, revisiting each shape. And things look so much cleaner, especially with the extra highlights. Without the black, I think it would look kind of messy. But then with the black, I'm like, okay, much better. Looks like, oh, it's not Picasso. There's an artist that is in this style. I really need to brush up on my art history. It's not cubism because we're not using cubes. I will brush up on my art history for you guys and myself. Don't forget any shapes. Make sure that every line that you did with gray, make sure that it's covered with black. Cute. It sort of also looks like stained glass. If you like this style painting, I do also have a stained glass style painting. That's a lighthouse. That's done in a similar style. I know I have one viewer who once commented that she does glass art. So this would be a good one, I think, only based on what I've seen. I did glass art one time in my life. It was really fun and I loved it. I was working at a studio that did all kinds of different mediums, but I was teaching acrylic painting. But I love all arts and crafts. Let me know below what other mediums you love, how you love to get creative. Lately I've been trying watercolors again. It's been so fun. I will probably add some watercolor courses for my members. Cute. I like how it turned out. It went from looking messy to looking so cute. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of white just for a final touch. I'm gonna bring it over here so that I don't get mixed into my colors. And then I'm going to grab the back of my brush. I'm going to add some white dots in the thicker parts of my white or of my black line. And I like it when it's sort of a big circle and then it sort of trails off. And I like to use the back of my brush because it adds a bit of like a tactile element to the painting, and it's a really easy way to get good circles. easier in my opinion than trying to do it with the front of the brush. Just here and there, wherever you'd like, as your little final touch. They say the difference between a good painting and a great painting is just a few brush strokes, or in this case, maybe it's just a few dots. That one got a little bit wonky, so you can always come back with black and kind of tidy things up a little bit here and there if you need to as well. I like it. What a simple and fun tutorial. Let me know if you like this style of getting abstract and getting loose, loosey-goosey with our style. A bit more figurative today. You can put any other final touches that you like on your painting, but that is all the instruction that I have for us today. So I hope you enjoy painting along with me. I appreciate you being here. Wish you a very happy Valentine's Day, happy winter season, stay cozy out there, and also until next time, stay creative.